Greetings, internets. Once more, onto the breach. This is Jessica, your acerbic and occasionally friendly retro lunatic, here with a video that is like, what do you want to call it? Like an upgrade and or replacement of the Welcome to the Channel video that I did when I launched it proper last year. I figured enough has been refined and there's enough new subscribers to the channel and I have a clearer idea of like my mission objectives that it warranted a new video of this type. I even wrote some notes down on paper. Can you believe it? It's so retro. The first thing I think I should address is the most obvious one, is like the visual nature of the channel. There's a few facets to that. One is obviously when dealing with old video games, I'm perfectly fine with the older aspect ratios and lower resolution. Like, I really, even if I had the money, I really don't know how much I want to get into the weeds of, upscaling and converting and forcing this stuff into the HD standard. Like, I'm just not really about it. Like, if I ever have the means, I might upgrade some of the systems to RGB SCART or something like that. But I think that's about as far as I want to take that. But quite frankly, I'm dealing with hardware and software in the creation of this channel that most of it is at least a decade or more old. Most of it quite a bit older than that. So I say that not in any like boastful way, like it's more of just being honest, and especially as kind of a message to fellow creators that like, hey, if you're waiting to make videos or art or anything else based on like, oh, I need to wait until I've upgraded to XYZ piece of technology, it's like, no, you don't. If you're able to comfortably watch this video right now, then almost certainly you have the means to at least get started, right? So don't let that hold you back. But while we're on the topic of like the visuals of the channel, the other reason that I lean into kind of the weirdness, um, my sub HD nature certainly ain't 4K, you can tell you that. It's because of my personal rebellion and rejection of this whole AI crap that is infringing itself upon the creative spaces. Like, none of us asked for this crap at all. Like, the tech bros can pretend all they want. They're like, oh, we're meeting consumer demand. People want this. It's like, no, your shareholders want this. Corporate suits without an ounce of creativity in their bones want to be able to press a button and make profitable art happen and then just get those pesky artists out of the way so they don't have to pay them. That's all this is. So I reject that completely. I want no part of it in my life, certainly not in my art on this channel. So, if anyone wants to try to use some kind of scraping tool to train an AI model, and I lean into that because there is no such thing as actual AI in the classic sense. These are not sentient, self aware artificial life forms we're dealing with. They're software programs with the window dressing of intelligence. But at best, they're like the virtual intelligences in Mass Effect, which is basically a glorified text to speech program. Like, that's what we're dealing with here. But yeah, if someone wants to try to train one of their models with my channel, it's like, well, good luck using my sub HD ass for that, and my love of weird and sometimes impractical aspect ratios. But more importantly, I think, is to build off a previously mentioned bullet point here of wanting to provide something that's beneficial to fellow creators. Um, Sprinkled throughout different videos, I've shared different parts of my life and experiences and some seriously huge blunders and dark places that I've ran into at warp speed. It's just to help, hopefully, to help someone avoid those same pitfalls and learning those lessons the hard way. and again, to help fellow creators and artists to provide maybe just that little bit of inspiration or hope, or, if they're in a similar place that I was in one of my stories that I've told about my life, that, maybe can help them realize, like, hey, you're not alone in feeling this way or being in this situation, and that you can get to the other side of it. And that segues into a larger point that I want for this channel is an objective, I guess, is not just for creatives and artists, but for the entire audience, is I want the channel to be a net positive, like more positive than negative. Like, yeah, I do take my shots at some of the big corpos occasionally, or, sometimes I'll share an opinion that someone might be like, unsubscribed, because, I don't really like Super Smash Brothers. Sure, like, got offended, but, like, you can be the nicest, most congenial, cordial, selfless, just overall goody good person in the world, and you can share an opinion on the internet, and someone will still try to roast you for it. So, unfortunately, that's kind of comes with the territory. But even when I have shots fired, or I make a satirical piece making fun of, some big tech company, and, making a bad anti uh, customer move, I still try to do it in good humor. Like, I want you to come away from it feeling better, and hopefully less angry or bitter or whatever else than you did before. Like, if you have watched any of my videos and your day is just a little bit better than it was before you watched it, then mission accomplished. But that brings me to the final point, is that yes, I go out of my way to say that I make videos here. Like, with my art, like, I take photographs, I make drawings, paintings, I write and play music. I don't make content. I'm not a content creator. I reject that 100%. Content is just a way for these companies to more easily control and exploit what people create. That's just a nice way of putting a bow on basically anything that they think and see that people share on any platform. I reject it completely. Content to me implies that it's just there for feed in the trough. Uh, like, there are times when I do make videos uh, faster than other times, but I still reject the notion of feeding the trough and feeding the algorithm. Like, if something exists just to generate ad revenue, just to get clicks, should it exist at all? Um, so I just reject the slop. Like, I feel like the majority, let's be honest, of what's on YouTube and social media exists just for the sake of, oh, look, there's new content. No, that's not what I'm here for. And to be honest, I know some of you will be like, shots fired, but if you are watching one of my videos and you're the kind of person that has an extremely short attention span, and or you don't get a dopamine hit within at least 15 seconds, I'm probably not the place for you, to be honest. Even with YouTube Shorts, I really don't like the format at all. I just kind of have bit the bullet on that one, because I understand that for some people it's nice to get kind of a bite-sized sample of one of my larger videos. So, but with all that being said, welcome to the new peeps who have subscribed in 2025. Welcome back to those of you who joined earlier. And I appreciate all of you who are joining the ride, and the objective of making 2025 an even better year for the channel than 2024. I would like to get to the point where the channel can at least pay for its own production. I resist talking about money and monetization, aside from the couple of the videos that I did make addressing it, because I was building off of what a friend had already said on the subject, talking about, like, grifting and e-beggars and all that stuff online, which is something I want to avoid. But technically the time I take out of this, even though it is for fun and for creativity and love of the arts and for the video games as well, technically that is time I'm taking away from conceivably working more hours at my job or trying harder to sell one of my books or, other things that could be helping me, keep my household running. So I would like to get to the point by some means or another where the channel can at least kind of help pay for its own time, and that I can maybe, despite the best efforts of tech companies and AI, that I can still maybe make even just a meager living off of my creativity and get out of the job I'm stuck in that my body won't be able to keep doing for much longer. I'll just say that. But with all that having been said, thank you for watching, subscribing, and what have you. I hope you've enjoyed the ride so far, and I look forward to providing you some more fun videos in the year 2025. Be excellent to each other, be kind to yourself, party on if that's your thing, and I'll see you next time. Laters.